Our last two divisions here on Spotlight as we take you division by division, NFC and AFC North. Looking at all 32 teams and how Mike Renner ranks their chances to win the Super Bowl. These are FanDuel's odds for teams in the NFC North. Lions are the fifth choice overall. Kyle and Mike with us every step of the way here. Mike, let's start with the Bears. Chicago's at 19 for you. A lot of excitement on this side of the desk for the Bears season.
Yeah, just the most difficult thing with the Bears is the division they're in. Is that they are still looking up. Well, I've gotten used to that at this point. But it's the division they're in, having to face the Vikings, the Packers, the Lions. And yeah, they may bump up their standing from fourth to like middle of the pack this year, but middle of the pack's still tough to overcome then all the way to get to a Lombardi trophy. This feels like the year before the year. You know, hopefully Caleb Williams takes big steps forward, and then going into year three, that's when it's like pedal to the metal. Everything should be humming. Everyone should be coming back. This defense should be able to get additions to it, and that's when it all comes together. But for right now, it feels a little bit too early to put them up higher than this.
I'm in agreement with Mike about the fact that the Chicago Bears are 1 year away from really making a run at this thing. We're going to learn a lot about how close they are in 12 to 24 months. In the next month or so. It's all about how Caleb Williams develops. Can the football get out of his hand quick enough? We've obviously seen they have the weapons offensively. They've got guys on the back end defensively. They've got an influx of rushers here with Sweat coming to town, Grady Jarrett. They've got the guys. They need to just catch up offensively to be able to have a complete package there in Chicago.
And everybody believes they've got the head coach now.
Yeah.
Vikings are at 15 for you, Mike, here. How many questions do you have around J.J. McCarthy?
It's a lot. I mean, that's it. He is the question here. It is, what does he do? Because it's his first year as a starter. And the thing is, coming out of Michigan, he didn't come from a high-volume passing offense. You know, Patrick Mahomes comes in as not starting year one, and year two is obviously MVP. But he passed a ton at Texas Tech. He was healthy his entire rookie year. I just think you'll see serious growing pains from a first-year starting quarterback in the NFL that maybe you didn't quite see at times with Darnold last year, or that you saw at times, and what ultimately did them in. So the Vikings, that's just the big issue with me, is that J.J. McCarthy could be a franchise guy, but it's just always going to be difficult for you year one. And then they got this secondary at the cornerback position that they just don't have guys. They lost a lot there. Didn't backfill. I'm worried about how their pass defense is going to be. Not that it's going to take a huge step back. You have Brian Flores, but just may not be a dominant unit.
Like Mike said, the bad news for all these teams is that they are in the NFC North, and it's an arms race, whether it's quarterbacks or coordinators that are really at the cutting edge of offense. And the good news for the Vikings is that every single time that J.J. McCarthy takes the field, he's going to get better, and the game's going to slow down for him. But how slow or fast is the game going to be for J.J. McCarthy week one?
Yeah, and he's got Justin Jefferson, which doesn't hurt either.
He's got the Chicago Bears going to be playing the Vikings week one. Watch out.
Packers at number 7 here, Mike. Playoff appearances in both of Jordan Love's seasons as a starter.
Yeah, they kind of just have everything now offensively. They have depth along the offensive line, which is what was their Achilles heel in that Eagles game last year. They have a number one wide receiver, at least by the looks of it in preseason, in Matthew Golden, who really rounds out this receiving core, makes it a little bit more reliable. And they were all, first and second year players basically the last 2 years under Jordan Love. They've matured. They've gotten to now, this isn't, those growing pains should all be gone. And this should be the year the offense really looks like what it can be under Matt LaFleur, excuse me. So the only question is, can they rush the passer? A lot of first rounders there, a lot of investment. They just need to improve on that side of the football. If they can, if those guys take leaps forward after firing their D-line coach last year, number 7 seems justified.
Great news for the Green Bay Packers is Matt LaFleur's their head coach, and we watched Malik Willis go in there last year and get some wins for this team. It was kind of like seamless. Nobody took any strenuous breaths. They just continued to win. And like you said, and like Mike said, you got this guy coming to town, Matthew Goldman. He's going to be a spark plug for this offense. And all the question marks in that receiver room, who's going to step up and be the number one guy, doesn't matter. Just be a really good 2 guy. Jordan Love will distribute the football. This team is dangerous. Watch out for this offense.
A couple of really good tight ends there in Green Bay as well. Lions are number 5 for you, Mike, here. They lost in the divisional round as the 1 seed after getting to the NFC Championship game the year before. Why 5?
Well, the thing is, they're top 3 in terms of just talent. This team has as much talent as anyone else in the NFL. It's just how are they going to deal with losing both coordinators? Because Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn were 2 of the best at doing what they did on their respective sides of the football. But the thing is, they're even more talented than they were last year when they won the 1 seed, right? Ali McNeil will come back at some point in time. Aiden Hutchinson apparently looks back to his old self, even though he only played 4 games last year. Your secondary that had rookies starting, well, now they're in year 2, and you still have those 2 all-pro safeties on the back end. So I think this team should be even better from a talent perspective, but obviously from a pure coordinating X's and O's perspective, we may see them take a bit of a step back. The talent, at the end of the day, is still what talks in the NFL.
Look at that schedule, too. Packers, Bears, Ravens, Bengals, Chiefs, Bucks for the bye week.
Dude, your O-line gives you a chance, and Brad Holmes has constructed a good offensive line, and your running backs give you an identity. The Detroit Lions have an identity, and when they're not handing them to those 2 bullies, Sonic and Knuckles, I believe is their nicknames, they can get it to Amon-Ra St. Brown. They can get it to any number of guys. And Jared Goff, cool as a cucumber, one of the best renaissances in NFL's history. I love watching him work. Guy's just quiet, and he wins.
Look at the NFC North rankings here. According to our Mike Renner, the Lions are at number 5, the Packers at number 7. All of them, guys, in the top 20 here. Minnesota 15.
What a division.
19. Brutal. I mean, fun. I don't have to play in it, so it's fun, but that's brutal. Odds to win the Super Bowl in the AFC North here, according to FanDuel, the Ravens, the Eagles, and the Bills, all at plus 700. Mike had plus 40,000. The Cleveland Browns in their 30th on your list. We do know on Monday, Joe Flacco's been named the starting quarterback. Everyone saw that one coming.
Yeah, and that's why they're 30th here. You know, you have a 40-year-old quarterback starting for you, and your fan base is clamoring for your 5th-round rookie to actually be the starter. So it could be better this year. It should be better this year. The defense should take a step forward. I don't see the offense ever even coming close to championship Super Bowl caliber.
What does Shedeur do? Does he do this? This is my Browns breakdown, okay? One of the most fun preseasons I've ever watched, okay? Between Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, it's a lot of fun. And there's just an older gentleman over there on the bench hanging out for the preseason, and he knows
quietly
he's the starter.
waiting.
You know, they're fighting for scraps there.
All right, how about the Steelers at 21? Another old quarterback here. Pittsburgh has lost 6 straight playoff games, the addition of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and Rodgers, when healthy, if they keep him healthy, you say he's healthy the entire season, they're higher than this. Here's the thing. He doesn't play a brand of football that leads to staying healthy. He takes a lot of hits. He's not Tom Brady here at this age, which is why he hasn't looked like Tom Brady post 40, unfortunately. And also, you got one receiver to throw to. And anytime Aaron Rodgers only has one receiver to throw to, he gets predictable. He force feeds that guy, refuses to throw to the other people. I worry about how this receiving core is built, given Aaron Rodgers starting quarterback.
They're going to have to be perfect to survive this division. And with a quarterback who's 41, 42 years old, I mean, even more perfect than perfect, Chris.
Opening at the Jets, which is fun. Pittsburgh is 21 on Mike's rankings. Moved down 10 spots to the Bengals, Mike, at 11.
When you got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, you can't fall too low. Because you can score points, you can beat anyone in the NFL when you got that trio. They don't have enough defensively, and they don't have their best defensive player from a year ago either. If Trey Hendrickson gets traded, if he's not there week 1, just sayonara. Write the book on this season, because this defense will not be good enough for them to win a Super Bowl.
This is one of the biggest wastes of talent that I've ever seen in sports. Ooh. And I grew up listening to all these old-timers, Hall of Famers talk about this guy by the name of Dan Marino, who never won a Super Bowl, played for the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, he's pretty good. Check him out. This is what I fear is going to end up happening with Joe Burrow. We're just going to miss out on greatness, and greatness will never get that pelt on the wall. So for the Bengals, you got to figure out how the hell you're going to get this done, because it's almost criminal to waste that much talent in Cincinnati right now.
Well, you're going to have to become one of the old heads who tells the next generation
I don't have a
how
jacket.
Good Joe Burrow was, Ravens at number 2 here, Mike. In Baltimore, hopes are high. I mean, look, the defense has been good for so long. What they added in the draft, this is absurd now, what's happening.
Going Jair Alexander adding to the secondary, Malachi Starks adding to the secondary. You have the 2-time MVP at quarterback that a lot of people wanted to be a 3-time last year. You have that receiving duo that's one of the best separating duos in all of football. And you got King Henry in the backfield with 2 His top 2 seasons were the highest 2 seasons ever by a running back in NFL history in terms of rushing yards. Yeah, this team's built for it. This should be the team. This should be the year for the Baltimore Ravens. If they can't get over the hump this year, whew, Baltimore Ravens fans, I'll have to feel for you, because another January defeat will be crushing to this franchise.
You know, the only thing that will stop the Baltimore Ravens is the Philadelphia Eagles in San Francisco in the Super Bowl. I love this Ravens team. I love the way they're built, both sides of the ball. They bully people. You know what's coming. Everybody in the stadium knows what's coming, and you can't stop it. That's why we love the Ravens so much.
Eagles over the Ravens in the Super Bowl for you.
You heard it here a couple days ago. Producer James in the back, he made me do my playoff prediction, so congrats to the Eagles, I guess.
All right. I think I'm taking the Ravens. At least that's where my money is early on in the game here. Here's a look at your Super Bowl 60 rankings. Again, according to our Mike Renner, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bills,
What's
and the
up,
Lions.
Vikings Nation? It's your boy Victor, back with another update right here on Report Vikings. We've got some fresh moves coming out of Egan, 2 signings, and 1 cut that could shake up the back end of the roster. Let's talk about who's coming in, who's heading out, and what it could all mean as we gear up for the season. So first up, the Vikings have officially signed running back Xavier Valladay. Now, I know a lot of you are probably like, who? But let me tell you, this dude had a seriously underrated college career. Valladay was a monster at Wyoming and Arizona State, racked up over 5,300 all-purpose yards and 39 total touchdowns in college. In 2019, he led the entire Mountain West with 1,165 rushing yards and earned first-team all-conference. Then, in his 5th year at Arizona State, man went off again with 1,192 rushing yards and led the Pac-12 with 18 total touchdowns. That's production. Now, he's bounced around a bit in the NFL, Texans, Steelers, Jets, and even spent some time on the Saints practice squad last year. He only got on the field for 12 special team snaps in a single regular season game. So yeah, the experience isn't there yet, but this guy's got upside. If he flashes in camp, he could sneak onto the 53-man or land on the practice squad. With our RB room still sorting itself out behind Ty Chandler, there's a path. Alright, next up, Zach Bailey, an offensive lineman who's actually making his return to Minnesota. He was with us back in 2020 on the practice squad and again during the 2021 offseason. Bailey played his college ball at South Carolina, and while he's only appeared in 2 NFL games, one with the Chargers in 2022 and one with the Jets last season, he's got that gritty, flexible vibe you want in a depth lineman. He's mainly been a guard, but has reps at tackle too. Look, we all saw what happened with the O-line last year. Injuries piling up, guys moving all over the place. Adding a dude like Bailey might not feel like a game changer, but having experienced depth that knows the system, that matters. Now, in a corresponding move, the team waived linebacker Max Tooley. Honestly, no big surprise here. He had already been waived once back in July and was re-signed just a couple of weeks ago. This was his 2nd stint with us after coming out of BYU undrafted. Tooley had a solid college career, 31 starts in 60 games, but he just hasn't stood out during camp. With the linebacker competition heating up and guys like Ivan Pace Jr. and Brian Asamoah showing real promise, Tooley just wasn't cracking the depth chart. So, what do I think of these moves? Honestly, I like them. These aren't headline grabbers, but they're smart. Valladay brings legit college production and could be a sneaky contributor if he gets a shot. Bailey helps with depth on a unit that desperately needed more reliability last year, and letting go of Tooley is just part of the numbers game at this point. It's little moves like this that help shape the bottom of the roster and could really pay off later in the year if injuries hit, which, let's be real, they always do. But now, I want to hear from you Vikings fans. Do you think Xavier Valladay could be a sleeper pick for RB3? Does Zach Bailey have a shot at sticking around as a depth piece on the line? And are we finally building the kind of roster depth that can carry us through a deep playoff run? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm always reading what y'all have to say. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Report Vikings for all your latest updates, and share this video with another Vikings fan who needs to stay in the loop. Skull Vikings, I'll catch you on the next one.